Okay, so my final guests today are 7 times Brit Award nominated and Mobo Award winners. Eternal. They are, of course, a fabulous British R&B group formed in 1992, and they became an international success, selling around 10 million records worldwide. And in 1997, they reached #1 in the UK singles chart with I Wanna Be the Only One. So before I get into conversation with Esther and Bernie from Eternal, let's remind ourselves of that brilliant track. Always so good to hear it. I know how it makes me feel when I hear that song, and I can only begin to imagine how it makes the people that are on that record themselves feel. And I'm delighted to say that I have got Esther and Bernie from Eternal joining me on the programme. How you doing, ladies?
Very good, thank you.
Hi, Happy New Year to both of you. Thank you so much for joining me for this very special New Year's Day programme.
Thanks for inviting us.
It's such a pleasure. And we obviously spoke in April of 2024. It was a very exciting time, I know. But towards the end of 2024, you also announced that April 2025 is when you're going to be having your first UK headline show in more than a decade at the Scala. So I had to get you back. So ladies, let me start off with you, Esther. How are you feeling about Scala coming up in just a few months' time?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I think, the year has started off really well when we met with yourself and had our interview, and it's just continued, and it's just rolling in some respects out of control, but in a positive way. So I'm like working on my vocals and doing my warm-ups every day and trying to be disciplined and not drinking milk and all of that stuff that goes with that. But I'm so looking forward to it. Get my old granny body out there and do that routine.
Bernie, I remember you saying in our first conversation about Crystal, the new member of Eternal, and how she had been, I'm going to say, kicking your bums into shape. Because she does taekwondo, doesn't she? So in regards to this show and getting ready for it, tell us about how she has been and how you're feeling about this show new for 2025.
Okay, so I would say I am so looking forward to it, a bit like Esther. We're all training, we're all back in the gym because, you know, the routines as well are quite hectic. And like Esther said, we're old. I don't subscribe to the we're really old though.
Nor should you. You both look fabulous, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. So no, we're really looking forward to it, and we're trying to introduce some more songs, which, you know, people hear the usuals, your stays, you're just a step from heaven, but do come along expecting something that is not often played, or maybe a mix of something that you wouldn't have thought we would have done. So yeah, it should be exciting. And yeah,
and I don't think we have to worry too much about Crystal. I think she's on the ball, Jack. She's on the ball,
so she's got it down.
She's fit, so you know she's as you said, she's pulling us along.
That's true. That's so true.
Now, okay, so Crystal, for those people that are not familiar, tell us a little bit more about her. Esther, you go. Tell us a bit more about Crystal.
So we met Crystal through Dennis. I think Dennis seems to be the magic, the dream musician kind of singer kind of person who puts everybody together. She's an amazing person. She's got a great personality. She's always smiling. She's fun. And literally the first time we actually did a dance routine, she walked in ready.
Oh, trust
my girl. We stopped and we looked at her, and she jumped straight into state, and we was like, that's it. That we, you know, we've got the right person. Yeah. So she's just a breath of fresh air.
And she's French. We're learning a little bit. Not too much. Don't ask me, please. Which we are learning a little bit, so you might be surprised.
I was going to say, you mentioned surprises in the show, so, you know, maybe a little bit of, I'm not even going to try either. I'm not going to do anything French because I'm just going to get us all into trouble. Bernie, when you last came on the show, you had, and I had, as a result, such an outpouring of love from your fans. You've got the best fans, haven't you?
I think so. I really do. They have been there from the start. A lot of them They're just so supportive and so with us along for the whole journey. They are brilliant. And I say it every time we have got the best fans. They're so positive.
Yeah.
They're so wanting what's ever coming next. They're there for us. And we love them. We love them absolutely to bits.
So tell me then, Bernie, about some of the responses you got from the reunion gigs that you did last year, because as Esther was saying, you know, from that point that we spoke, it was sort of snowballed from there. You know, you had things lined up, but things continued to happen. And you had a number of gigs, and I bet your fans were just beside themselves. So tell me about some of the impact that it had on them and some of the things that they said to you when they saw you guys back on stage.
Do you know what it is? Because obviously we were in our early teens when we started out. So a lot of our fans were, you know, beginning teens, like your 13, some 8, 9, 10, that sort of thing.
All right, stop with the age, please.
I know, get to the point. But the point is, when I see their faces again, I'm like, oh my God, I remember you when you used to come out to the Top of the Popses and your Smash Hits road shows, and seeing them again. There's a lovely, I have to say lady now because she's a lot older, Rosie, and she comes to literally every gig and she was there as a teen as well. So when I look out in the audience and I see them and they do hustle their way all the way to the front of all the festivals that we've done this summer. And when I see them, it just is so heartwarming. I you know, it brings a tear to my eye. I absolutely love them. Absolutely.
So they've also, Jack's been really encouraging. The first gig that we did, and I started to sing one of the songs, and I was like, wait a minute, I think I'm singing the wrong first verse. And I actually said it out loud. I don't know if I meant to, or my brain was kicking in and my mouth went with before I realized. And then one of them at the front was like, no, Esther, no, you're singing the right words. And I'm like, am I? And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, thank you. But also, you know, they're giving us little tips as to, you know, their expectations. We want to hear Bernie sing, or we want to hear Crystal sing, or we want to see you guys perform this track. And the feedback is just, as V says, it's amazing, and it's so positive, and it's so nice to receive the feedback, and we want it to continue so that we can better ourselves and know we're doing the right thing. That's important.
Well, in their eyes, and I'm sure in so many others' eyes, you're absolutely doing the right thing, and you can do no wrong. I know that one of the questions that they will be chomping at the bit to hear about is, you know, you mentioned surprises, you mentioned things that we might not expect to hear. When it comes to new music, is that something which is on your radar for 2025 or in the coming months or years? What do you think about that, Esther?
Oh, Jax, aren't you naughty?
I got to ask what the people want to hear.
Listen, we are open to anything. So, you know, if the right song comes about and if the right opportunity and the record company presents us that opportunity, yes, we'll be open to hearing what that is and making new music, definitely.
So
definitely.
Never say never.
No.
Absolutely not.
Never say never. Okay. And so
that's our New Year's resolution, I think.
Well, excellent. This is what it's all about on a day like today. So yeah. Okay. So never say never. I love that as a message. And really for those people that are going to be coming out, so let me just remind everybody. So you're going to be playing London Scala on the 30th of April, 2025. So soon come. So for people that want to get their tickets and want to come out, I mean, they're just really in for a treat, aren't they, Bernie? So do you have a song that you always open with, or do you want to keep it under wraps what's going to happen on the night?
Do you know, I will say what song we normally open with, but that might not necessarily be what it will be. So we normally open with Stay. That is such a massive opener with the big vocal, the big long note that Esther does at the very start. But I think we're going to mix it up. So I don't actually want to say too much. And we are actually in the middle of planning what songs we're putting in the set, how we're going to mix it up a little bit. And it was really fun, actually. On my Insta page, I actually opened the forum up to getting everybody to give us some feedback as to what they wanted to hear. And some of the tracks that came back, I was like, oh my God, I haven't heard that in a while. They came back with some B-sides and I was like, oh my God, they're like deep into the tracks. And I'm like, okay, I know that you guys are proper fans.
Yeah.
We love it. We absolutely love it. So I can't say what we're going to do because we are in the middle of planning that, but we are hoping to mix it up a little bit.
Okay. Well, do you know, I love you ladies. Honestly, I really do. So we will reconvene post gig, and we'll continue. We'll continue the conversation.
Exactly.
And,
you might get a little bit more out of us closer to the time.
Okay. Oh, this is exciting. This is exciting stuff. One, you mentioned "Stay." Obviously, a beautiful, huge track, and one of the other really beautiful big tracks, which I'm a huge fan of, which I'm going to play now, is "Power of a Woman." Esther, tell me a little bit about this song and what it means to you guys.
Well, for us, it's really empowering us as women and letting us know it's an anthem, as Vernie says, and just encouraging us to know that we are capable of doing anything. We are powerful in our own rights. We give birth, we breastfeed, we nurture, we discipline, we love, we care. You know, there's so much we do, not taken away from the men, but still there's so much we do. Grab it, own it, it's yours. You're a powerful woman, irrespective of what your role is or your status. You are powerful.
Yeah, that is such a beautiful message to start the year and to finish this conversation. And Bernie, just some final words to you for people that might be feeling a little bit anxious about 2025. Maybe they need to hear the power of a woman, to feel the power of a woman. But what's your parting message for our listeners this evening?
I would say grab 2025 like there's no tomorrow. You are destined to be and do whatever, God has planned for you. No one can take that away. So go for it.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. And as I said, we will reconvene later on in the year. Such a pleasure to chat with you both.
Jack, we hope that you make it as well on the 30th. But yes, as you said, we're putting a pin in it and we will reconvene. I love it. I love it.
Okay, well, here we go. Powerful Women and Esther, Bernie, much love to you ladies.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Oh, the fabulous Eternal. How great are they? Really loved chatting with them. Going to fit in 2 more tracks before the end of the show.